Welcome back to UTech Exam Prep. And for today's video, we're going to be looking at this question right here. So take a minute, pause the video here, and see if you can do it yourselves. Okay, so let's look at this question. This question describes a company that wants to migrate a monolithic application to AWS, to retain as much front-end and back-end code as possible, break the application into smaller applications managed by different teams, and ensure high scalability with minimal operational overhead. Always the goal to find the best AWS solution that supports this transition. So let's analyze our options. Option A hosts the application on AWS Lambda plus API Gateway. Now, this is serverless and a scalable solution, which is great, but it requires breaking the application into smaller Lambda functions, which is re-architecturing, which is not great because that is just a lot of operational overhead. It is not ideal for keeping most of the existing code and not the best fit. Option B hosts with AWS Amplify and API Gateway plus Lambda. Now, this is good for front-end hosting, but AWS Amplify is primarily used for front-end applications, not monolithic back-end migrations. It still requires breaking code into smaller functions, so because of those reasons, it's still not a suitable solution. Option C hosts on Amazon EC2 with ALB plus autoscaling. Now, this supports lift and shift migration, but it does not. But the problem with this one is that it does not break the monolith into smaller applications. High operational overhead because of the manual instance management, so not the best fit for microservices. For option D, it hosts on Amazon ECS with ALB. Now, this allows running containerized versions of the monolith without major code changes. It supports breaking the application to smaller containers or microservices approach if you want to see it that way. It also uses managed scaling with EC2 plus ALB for distributing traffic, and it minimizes operational overhead compared to EC2. Now, this is definitely the best solution so far. So let's see basically how it works and why. Well, EC2 supports containerized applications, allowing easy transition from monolithic to microservices. Each smaller application can be managed independently by different teams, and ALB efficiently routes traffic across ECS services, ensuring scalability and less operational overhead than managing EC2 instances manually. So let's look at the key takeaways for this question. ECS is ideal for containerizing existing applications without massive code changes. It allows for breaking a monolith into smaller services, which aligns with microservices architecture. It minimizes operational overhead compared to EC2-based deployments, and using an ALB ensures scalable, efficient traffic routing. And that is it for this question. Thank you for watching, and of course, subscribe for more.